Good morning and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans. We think here. Think. It's just your way of, analyzing what's going on in the world. Instead of taking what somebody else tells you is going on, you look at it for yourself and you can see. I don't have to tell you. Your wife don't have to tell you. Your husband don't have to tell you. Your kids don't have to tell you. You already know. You already know, and that's what it. You ever see, like, during a tsunami, they say all the animals start going for higher ground. Why do they do that? They start going to higher ground because the earth is telling them something's coming. And being connected to the earth, they hear that calling. It's somehow with the so-called African American, which is not connected to the earth in no kind of way. And we're very dismissive of it. We don't, it don't matter. Yeah, it does. When you willingly accept this ain't no slave master came and got us. This is willingly. What you call Black people, they willingly gave it up. They willingly gave it up. One of the topics of discussion for the Indigenous people of America is the topic of Palestine. When every time something happens in the world, one of the first groups of people to show up is us. We did that with Nelson Mandela, remember? Negroes was in on it, big time. They're like that in Palestine too. But it's funny, we never seem to can do it for ourselves. Why is that? See, these are questions you have to start giving your children so it can be in their mind and they can be working out a solution as they're growing up. It used to be in the Black community, they wouldn't tell their children shit, tell their children to shut up if they had a good idea. See, that's how Black people do it. We don't share information. We don't share with our children. And whatever they have popping up. Now, this is, of course, not everybody. Don't you know if it don't fit you, it ain't you. So what we're going to have now, we're going to have a couple of people that's living over in Palestine, Israel, to give us their take on what's going on over there. This is what I mean. We got to mind to our own business. Like other people mind to their stuff, they just pull us in to use our energy. And we go with it. We cool with it. I don't care. We're about to bring on a couple of people that lives over there, and they're going to give you a play-by-play on what's going on over in Israel, Palestine. I call it Palestine. I mean, it's Palestine. Come on. We can't act like we're not seeing these things going on right in front of our face. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Noga. Noga, you there?
It's her daughter.
Hey, daughter. Okay, cool. And we're going to bring in Nubian King calling in. What's going on, Nubian King?
Everything's good. How you feeling today, this afternoon?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for joining us, man, because I definitely want to get your take on that. Let me know when Noga gets back, or we can just start with the questions I had.
She's here.
Oh, cool. Well, let's get going. Nubian King, introduce yourself.
My name is Nubian King. I live in Israel, Ashkelon, Israel. And I came to Israel May 15, 1981, which means this Saturday, I will have been in Israel for 40 years.
Damn!
I speak Hebrew, English, a little Arabic, few words of Arabic, some words of Chinese. I worked with some Chinese for about 4 years, building the port in Ashdod. Been vegan for 42 years. Currently, I'm working with a corporation named Solar Bonnet. They've been in business here in Israel for just about getting close to 100 years now. I live in a city in Israel on the coast named Ashkelon, Israel. It's one of the twin cities they talk about in ancient days. Ashkelon and Israel were the twin cities. I live on the beach over here, overlooking the water, and I just happen to be just about 5-6 miles north of Gaza, where all of this bombing and uprising is taking place. I also have a podcast that I do on Spotify, Google, Apple, iHeartRadio every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over in and my podcast is very interesting. You should stop by and check it out. The number is 516-666-983. I came to the show because great sister Noga invited me and wanted me to share some things, answer some questions. And I don't have a problem with that because in these days, information is power. A lot of my people are waking up and becoming aware of a lot of history and knowledge and who we are as a people, all of the who, what, when, where, and why, because this is the time. I have said on many occasions that what we're witnessing throughout planet Earth is we're living in the aftermath of the barbaric intelligence to rule, meaning that the dominion of this planet has been under a barbaric mindset. That mindset, that intellect, his ability to rule has come to an end. And what is taking place is the masses of people the world over are gaining an intelligence, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And this internet technology has been a two-edged sword for this bandit. He proliferate lies and deception, and he use it to push his agenda. But at the same time, we're using it to pushing the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that's given to us by the elders, our forefathers, the ages, the wisdom of the ages that they uploaded into the ether. And we're now beginning able to vibrate at the highest vibration, which give us the ability to tap into the ether and download this information. And so platforms like these are very essential for us to be able to disseminate the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Brother,
go ahead.
You said you've been in Israel for 40 years. Where'd you come from?
I came out of the States. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. And I came over into Israel May 15, 1981. I landed at Ben Gurion Airport at 5:40 in the afternoon. This Saturday at 5:40, it'll be 40 years. Since that time, inside of that 40 years, I've lived in West Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, Benin, Togo, and then I vacationed in Ethiopia. I had a sister there that was, working and living there. And of course, everyone has been in the pyramid. Well, excuse me, not everyone, but most people go to the pyramid as a visit. And I went to the pyramid also in Egypt. And I spent some time in Europe, over in Brussels. I was in Moscow for a little bit. And I was over in London since all of that time. But I left America in 81. And this has been my home for that time.
So 40 years, and you kept it down to the time, the date. What have you been to Atlanta since you've been there, or you just been over there full 40 years straight?
I was here 25 years straight, and I went back to Atlanta, and it was like going to another world. I couldn't even, it took me a minute to learn how to talk to my people. After being here 25 years, it had changed so much.
Wow. So what did you think about Atlanta when you went back home? Because I'm right next to Atlanta. And dude, I'm embarrassed when I go there.
I was I was speechless from when I left and being here 25 years and then going back to Atlanta. I was speechless. I felt like that Rip Van Winkle dude had slept 20 years and woke up.
Right.
Just to show you the magnitude of what hit me so bad. What hit me when I left America in 81, we still had pride, self-pride. Sisters was sisters, brother was brothers. We had respect. We still had that love. You can go out and do things. But the thing that hit me when I got back into the States is how common it is for our queens to be called bitches and hoes. Tell you this real quick experience when I was down in Florida, because when I went back, I was in every state except Alaska. After being here 25 years, I wanted to see.
Right.
And man, when I got back to Israel, I'm telling you, I was so happy. But anyway, I was in Florida walking to a mall down there. And I was just strolling through, looking. And it was a couple in front of me, young brother and sister, walking in front of me a few paces. And then coming toward us on the other side was another couple, young brother and sister. And I'm just strolling along. It wasn't, the mall, it's not loud, you can hear a little noise. And I'm looking around, not really paying attention to the two people in front of me and the two coming toward me. And I heard some brother hollered out, "Motherfucker, you looking at my bitch?" "No, nigga, I ain't looking at your hoe. What wrong with you?" And it caught me off guard so bad, bro. I jumped behind a concrete column, because I heard so much about how stuff turned up so quick. People get the busting caps and shooting. When I heard that, I'm thinking it's finna get turned up, And I stood behind that column and I watched these people, and the two dudes eyeballed each other, and the two girls eyeballed each other. I'm like, the hell, what? Just like that. But the thing that caught me off guard was how he said, "Motherfucker, you looking at my bitch?" And then he said, "No, nigga, I ain't looking at your hoe." And it was okay. I'm like, what? Bitch and hoe? Bruh, I've been over here for 40 years. And when I went back to America after being over here for 25 years, the degradation and the loss of who we are as Nubian kings and queens was mind-boggling. Bro, look, in Israel, it's a lot of testosterone. Now, homosexual and transvestite and lesbian and LGBTQ and the queer and all the XYZ and to the 10th power, Look, that's all over the world. Okay. That's the reality that we're living with. In Israel, you have homosexual here, but because you got about 9 million people, it's not as many as you would find in those heavily populated nations. It's here, but it's not as common as you would say somewhere in a big city like America. Well, you have a lot of testosterone here. Israelis, the males, they what they call a giver. Giver is like a man. He always trying to be the giver. And so, you learn to speak, you learn to say, when you speak Hebrew, because Hebrew itself is a spiritual language, it comes with energy, it comes with power, it comes with, passion when you speak in Hebrew. And so being in Israel, you have to be a man, you have to be a woman. Everybody's like tough, strong, speak. And so, and being in that energy for so many years, when you speak, you learn to speak with power and authority. Because when you speak in the language, and so you speak with the power, you speak with the passion. So when I went back to the States, I'm talking to my brothers and sisters, and I'm explaining certain things. Look, everybody over here didn't come from Africa. Y'all had to understand that when Christopher Columbus stepped on that land, there were already 59 million beautiful, black, luscious, chocolate, organic brothers and sisters from Maine to Miami when he came in the country. There were those that came from Africa, yeah. And so when I'm just talking, a sister said, whoa, bro. Woo. She said, you got to bring it down. I'm like, what do you mean? Woo, you scary. Oh, what do you mean I'm scary? Oh, you talk so strong. You got to bring it down a little bit. I'm like, what? Bring it down. Man, I'm telling you, it took me a while to really kind of adjust, because what I began to realize is how much our people just generally don't know about basic things, just basic things,
Let me ask you this. So, people who leave the country, people who go to Africa, people who go to Israel, people who leave the country, what do you think we lose when they do that?
You mean our brothers and sisters going to Israel and going to other countries?
No, I don't. I'm not really into that brother and sister shit, because we don't act like that. Those are just words we toss around. We don't really mean it. What do you think, as the people of America? I like to use the word Americans. What do you think they lost as a people? When all of their, it's kind of like Indian children, the people that are coming from India, that's coming over here to America. What do they lose in brain power? What do they lose in intellectual power? What happens when the children of a particular place leave to go set up camp somewhere else?
Well, if you're talking about those people coming from America, what they don't have is the knowledge of self, the land, language, and culture, who they actually are. If you move, when I came out of America, the very first time I went into Africa, what I had lost was that cultural understanding. I was so culturally ignorant when I got to Africa, it was embarrassing.
Well, you're not from there.
I know. I was born and raised over there in the States. And
no, what I meant,
when I went to Africa,
this is what I meant, what I was saying. Because I just want to make it clear, because sometimes I talk too fast. So if you dug up a tree here, let's say you dug up a pecan tree here, and you moved it over to Africa, what would happen to that tree, number one? And also, what happens to where that tree comes from, the tree surrounding environment. That's a better way.
Well, when you do that, the tree that was seeded and grew up in that soil in America has been developed by the soil, the energy, and the nutrients in America. You take that tree into another country, if that soil and the energy does not match or sustain that tree, then the tree generally would die.
And what happens to where you took the tree from?
Okay, now it depends on if the tree has some type of infection or parasite or toxin or what have you. It could damage the soil that you put it into. It could.
I'm talking. Okay, so you take the tree from America. What happens to where you took? What happens to where you took that tree from in America?
Well, if you dig it up out of the ground, generally that dirt in time will cover that hole, and it'll be like the tree was never taken.
But it was.
Yeah, it was.
And that's what I'm saying about the people, man. You know, we're in all these places trying to be all these ideologies that somebody fed to us. They're not even ideologies that our people passed down to us. They're foreign ideologies.
Right.
And we pick up those ideologies and act like we made them ourselves, fucking up everything. Messing up everything, trying to be like what the Bible says. I mean, one of the most dumbest reads I ever read is the Bible. It's dumb. Page 1 tells you. And we get into it and try to pontificate on some bullshit that don't make no sense. And it confuses us. And then we in turn confuse our children and so on and so on and so on. So that's what I'm trying to say. Hey man, because what this program is about is the deportation of the Hebrew Israelites over there. What's going on with that? And Nova, I want you to get into this too.
Well, it's been a big issue from the very beginning coming in here. Okay. Just quickly, when we first arrived, the first group I'm talking about way back in the 70s, it wasn't no big deal. They accepted us, but when more came, then they wanted us to convert to Judaism, and that's where the battles start. And for years, a lot of us didn't have citizenship. Myself, I renounced my American citizenship in a move to keep from getting deported because we wanted to stay here. Well, that was a deal made with the head of the community and the minister of interior, and we began to process and get our status. The first status we got was A1 status, a little orange book, and that was the same status that I found a lot of the Palestinian have. They not, full citizen. And then it went further. And when our children began to serve in the military, they granted citizenship to the children, parents, and family. And so now we have everybody is all, citizens. My family, all of us are citizens now. And now this interior minister, R.E.A. Derrier, he was the interior minister. He's been there for as long as I can remember. And he went to prison for some criminal activity. And believe it or not, he got out of prison and he ended up back as the interior minister. It's that guy that has sent deportation letters to many individuals of the community. And, I'm going to just say this. I don't know if, whatever. I'm going to just say it. Not long after that, they had a celebration here called Lag BaOmer, where they go up to this Mount Moran and they celebrate a dead rabbi. And it's thousands of those Orthodox go up there. It was the area they went in, the entranceway was too small, And they have been told for many years that don't bring that many people. This thing is not able to support it, and yada yada yada. And as they always be, never they never anyway, they was ignorant, always arrogant and disrespectful. So the thing crashed. They started stampeding, and 45 end up dead and 150 injured. And when I noticed 45, I thought about the letters they said they had sent those brothers and sisters down there in the community. 45. I was like, wow, that's really amazing. 45, that's 90 multiple to 3. If you're in the numbers, numerical, those numbers was really significant. Some people can say, oh, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's just something that I noticed. And then we got all this bombing going on right now. And if this show stay on long enough, you might hear the siren go off, because I live right up the street from Mazda. So now they are, sent letters of deportation. But in my heart, I really don't feel that the people be deported. What I feel is that they'll end up becoming citizens. Because one thing about the Israeli people, over here, public opinion matters. And so right now, okay, it's still up in the air. And, we'll see. But I don't think they'll be deported.
No, what do you think of that?
Well, we had did a rally, and 100 Israeli delegates, supporters were supposed to come, and they never showed up. And these people just never wanted us here. All these years, they tolerated us, I guess. They worked with the leader, but they don't really want us here. And so even at the rally, one of the Hebrew moderators for the rally was saying that, well, we don't know what's going to happen. We just have to wait it out and see. But see, they don't know what's going to happen, and it's this war going on over here and everything. We don't know, But my thing is this: it's high time that we just know who we are. Okay, it's high time for these Hebrews to really know who they are, so they would know where they should be and what they should be doing. We can't just be trying to the bottom line is we can't try to stay somewhere that we migrated to and just leave our home and our ancestors' home and our parents' home, thinking we could go somewhere where no one wants us and expect us to be okay, expect them to treat us right and everything when they haven't. And it's just, I just don't understand why this is not clicking with these people over here, these Hebrew Israelites. They so brainwashed and brain dead into that Bible that they can't see nothing else. This should be a wake-up call.
So how was the war? How was there's a war going there? I guess they're warring over there now. So just because I agree with you, I also agree with what David Corey said. I would never stay at a place where nobody don't want me. What is making Negroes not even think about that? Because I know they know. Because that's
something should be telling them something,
right? What is
unless?
Do you think? Yeah, do you think that's their? Do you think that's their job to mislead? Because damn, they don't want you over there. And I know what it feels like when they talk about you, like over here, when they talk about Black people, when they say Black, they say it in such a degrading way, it make you want to slap the shit out of the person who's saying it. They,
Right.
I mean, they talk down on you like a dog. And I know, and that's how many people don't even look up. They don't care. They just go ahead. How can you be in another place where these people are warring? And I hear you guys surrounded by like Iran, Iraq, Jordan, all them places that hate Israel. And you guys are there. I mean, just what if all those people just attacked? What would you guys do?
Yeah, that's a good question. And they really view us as those people. They said that we was worse than the PLO back in what year was that? That I think it was back in the 90s sometime. I don't, but they had a newspaper article said that those black Hebrew cults is worse than the PLO.
Yeah. They use the same language over here too, call them black extremist groups. They do them over here, and we just fall into. So that's what I'm saying. Are these cats, I mean females too, are they there just to mislead the people? Because brothers being over anywhere when we have all these problems going on over here. That's why we can't say shit. We can't say nothing. Because we go to these wars and help fight for massa. And then we have the nerve to come back and complain because they kick your ass to the curb.
Right.
We handcuff ourselves. So that's why I was asking the brother, how do you feel? You over here in America, you see the people over here trying to, pull themselves up, trying to teach, because the civil anybody who has eyes can see that civil rights shit was a failure. So now we got to go to plan B to because now the rest of the world, while we're pouring out to places like Israel, other countries are pouring in over here, and they over here deep, and we support them.
Right.
We support them. We support them. I mean, because this they'll let you know how fucked up we are. We support them, and then we all over the place trying to be everybody else: Christians, Moors, Hebrews, Greeks, Africans. What the fuck? What? So I'm saying people who sitting in certain countries somewhere, and and your people are going through it at home. You don't feel nothing about that?
I would like to say it's a lot of people that is confused, and some of them just won't accept the truth. They so far inside of their own little world that they afraid to even step out or to even acknowledge the truth.
They know the
Like,
truth. They know the truth.
oh yes, it's a lot that knows the truth, but they can't handle it. They feel like they can go crazy. They need their world to make sense to them, or something that they used to, in order to stay on to it, and to lock on, so they won't feel like they drifting away and they're going crazy or something. It's a lot of people that's like that.
So,
And
ma'am, let me ask, what are the age range are you in?
I'm 31.
So you were born there?
Yes, I was born here.
Okay, so what's the dynamic? What's the male female dynamic like there? How do brothers and sisters get along in another man's country trying to be, like I say, a tree planted in another country? How does that dynamic work?
Well, I've been here all my life. I've never left Israel. I mean, I did want to leave. So many times I've tried, but this country knows how to manipulate and make people stay for the benefit of money. Um,
It's called
and
an EBT card.
yeah, so it's a little complicated and a little hard for us because we learned Hebrew and English equally, but not 100%. We go to a special school for ourselves, which is Akva. That's the name of our school from the community. And over there, we don't learn the high level of English like everybody doing the States. So our comprehension and our level of intelligence is it's quite low. so so
Well,
it's like we have Hebrew, have is American. It's like it's and then I know that it would be kind of hard for us if we just wanted to go to college over there, and the lack of knowledge we have when it comes down to basic English, when it comes down to certain words and things like that, we would definitely be back.
Be lost.
We would be lost. Uh,
Miss Luac Flamethrower said, and I just want to throw this in. I want you to keep going, but I picked this up too. She said, "Shake my head. You didn't lose your people's accent." I picked that up too. So it's like you're born at a certain place, but you still have the accent of here.
yeah, because I usually connect more with people that comes from the States. I'm not really into Israelis and all that. I think they snobbish personally, personally, their personality. They think they better than everybody. They talk down to people. They very nasty. They are dirty. If you were to see the streets here in Israel, it's filled with trash and everything. They're very lazy, dirty, and they love their money. They're very cheap. They don't they just they very let's see, they really good in conning people. Yeah, that's the word.
So what do you think about them conning your foreparents, your grandmother, your great grandmother, your mother, and now you? What do you think about that?
That angers me because I know what they're doing, and they try to play mind tricks. I mean, the parents here in Israel were supposed to get citizenship a long time ago according to their treaty, and they haven't held up their part of the bargain. They tell them that we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and then they delay it constantly, or tell them they have to bring more papers or bring this and bring that just to pass the time until they change the rules and the laws, and then you can't get it anymore.
You know,
Like for me, for example, I tried to get my mom her citizenship, and all of a sudden they changed the rules and the guidelines, and now I'm not allowed to give her citizenship after um being inside of the army. So now they trying to send her out of the country within 14 days. You
I mean,
know.
I mean, I mean, first class ticket. I'm out.
Yeah, and then it's like they got me because I have citizenship. So I'm thinking they're not going to want to send me. I also have my American citizenship. I had the option to renounce my American citizenship, and I said no. I am definitely going to keep that. But they they asked us to do that, and I had declined it. So I have both of them. But if they try to send my mom out, I definitely want to go with her, and they're gonna have to send me. But I have also debt here. So when people have debt, they refuse to let them out the country because they want you to pay and all that stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, so whether you are a citizen or not a citizen, if you have debt here, you definitely will be staying in the country. That's how they are about their money.
Okay. Well, let me just say this, and this is to all of us who's over there. Over
Hmm.
here in America, we getting bum rushed by the whole world. They have little towns in here called Little Bangladesh. Everybody's coming over here. What is the reason you think where everybody, I mean, and they're packing up their mother and fathers, they brothers and sisters, they cousins, and they coming. What do you see over there that's making all those people bum rush over here?
Yeah, for one thing, we America is what's happening. It seems to has to them the best of everything, the best lifestyle, the best customer service, because the customer service over here makes you wanna, makes you wanna just
Slap some
slap
heads.
some heads off over here the way they handle business.
Like
It's third world country over here. I don't, and that's what I always wonder. I mean, why is I've always wondered. I mean, I know why America is great and why everybody's rushing over there, because we the ones that's supplying the world the riches and the fame and the fortune that the whole world have. They just sent billions of dollars over here to Israel, and I see how they putting it to use over here. They building a lot of houses and condominiums, but then over here in Israel, for one thing, okay, they see that their government is trash. And there's a lot of young Israelis that wants to go over to America, because to them that's like the land of opportunity and the best place to be, because it ain't really nothing happening or going on in these other countries.
You see why I say African Americans ain't Africans. Everybody running over here for the natural resources, and the natural resources is you.
Right.
And we don't get it. We don't. I mean, I think we get it. I think we're just. It's some kind of fear, because it's like you have to see it.
Right.
You can't miss it. I mean, they're over here trafficking children. I was asking a group the other night, did they ever see that video of these Africans went into this neighborhood in Missouri, I think it was, and was trying to kidnap the children. Africans, some young African men, they couldn't have been older than 20.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Right.
Kidnapping your children. Why? Because you're a natural resource. They'll slit your ass open and take out your central nervous system and implant it in somebody else, and they got a new person. We don't look at ourselves like that. See,
right.
That's my problem. It's like, here we are. This is the world. The world has been turned to shit, especially America, and we're gonna have to pay for that. They, like you say, trash, nasty. These are the nastiest, trashiest, and we worship them. We take their religions. We take their ideas.
Try to look like them.
Try to look like them. Try to talk like them. Try to dress like them. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead with that shit. Enjoy it while you can.
Okay.
The only thing that's doing is destroying them.
It's destroying them. Come on.
It's destroying them. You have to love yourself. You have to love where you come from in order to be more superior.
And so that's, and that's my problem. The thing with the Hebrew Israelites and all these cats, to me, can you imagine Hebrew Israelites, Greeks, the Negroes who think they Africans, Christians, Muslims? Can you, just those five? There's 10,000 other subgroups that we're in, but just those five, the Amerindians here, if they just connected back to themselves, do you know what? Can you imagine?
I know, right? I mean, hey, they don't want that though. They doing everything they can to keep us like separated,
uneducated.
Right. Because see, the more they keep us separated and uneducated and no unity, they could continue to feed off of us
and control us
and
keep us down.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But it's not about what they want. It's about what we want. And that's what I'm saying. Our mind has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Has to be there. It's not what they think. It's not what they want. It's what we want. and we've been wanting what they want. That's why we're in the position that we're in.
That's why we're in the position we're in, because we've been chasing after them and their religions and ideologies, and thinking that that's the end all be all
Right.
for us.
We have been psychologically programmed to do as they want.
Well,
And we have to actually get rid of that programming that they did inside of us. We're going to have to really look at ourselves and really free our minds from what they have done to us psychologically.
well, that's what we're trying to do here. But the young lady there, I was just saying, the reason I was asking you how old you are is, to give you a what you're coming into. It seems as when you get older, you depend more on massa because you worked in his system, and at the end of working for his system, he gives you a treat called a pension that makes you lazier than you were when you were working. So most people are going that route. Most of the younger people I talk to, they all say that's not what they want to do, because those people, while they were building other people's empires, they didn't build their own.
Right. Only thing they did is take.
All they did was go work for another person and didn't even think about building anything for themselves. With this new influx of immigrants coming in, you young folks are not going to have it like that. You're going to have to have another way. And there's all kind of things we can do. But with all the different ideologies that we have and all the different beliefs that we have, it's impossible to make it run.
I'd like to ask a question. This is the first time I came on, Sister Noga asked me. What you're saying is true about the condition of the people, but I'd like to know, do you have a program, a solution or something? Because you're saying there's a lot of things that can be done. You got a solution?
No, you have a solution. You have a solution. Damn it, everybody has a solution.
That's right.
Stop sucking this motherfucker's dick. That's what the solution is. That's what the solution is. Get off his balls, get on and just start doing your thing. That's what I'm saying. All these brothers trying to be another man. Come on, dude. Be yourself.
Okay, that's what I like to share with you, that me personally, I'm building and doing what I'm doing. And, I hear what you're saying, and it applies. I'm not the one that, the way I look at it now, because, I'm 60 years and I've been through a lot of stuff with people. And at this point on this journey, I respect everybody's belief system and everybody's opinion, whatever they want to do. That's where I'm at. That's the only reason why I asked that is like, I hear what you're saying. At the same time, it sounds like you in the process of educating people about a lot of things. The only reason why I asked that is that along with the education, are you also laying out a choice, something different? Like you saying, stop, clicking on it.
No, brother.
I would like to add something to that. I would like to say something to that.
Let me get to his question first, because this is one of the things we keep running into this. And brother, it's simple. It's simple. Your great grandmama, not your grandmama. Remember, we're passed down through our mothers. Little girls have their babies already sitting in them like eggs waiting to hatch. Only until they're sparked by that sperm seed, they come to life. I mean, that water from the male, they hatch, which means you are here way before they tell you your birthday and all. And this is what I mean, following other people's ideology, following other people's belief system. We look at stuff the way other people tell slaves. It don't matter, slaves. We don't think of how to fix our own problems. The problem is, brother, over here, and anybody can tell you, the so-called black man is the most kicked, despised over here, even by his own folks first. We have billions of brothers in jail. So we're decimated. Now we have all these brothers are over in another country somewhere doing so God knows what. All these brother, we spread thin over here. We can't do nothing. We don't have no help.
Okay.
You have all this land down here, especially where you're talking about in the South in Atlanta. Shit, they just had an election here, and they had so many Negroes down in Georgia, they turned the red state blue.
I know. Okay, I understand all that. Everything you're saying, I'm very well familiar with it. The only thing I was trying to see is, along with your enlightenment and educating the people, outside of that, what's happening? You know, what you got going on? That's all.
What you mean? That's what I have going on.
Education.
If you don't know how if you don't know how to pick up the hammer from the right end, you don't know what to hit the nail with, dude. Come on.
Okay, dude, I'm clear with all of that.
Listen, homie, check this out. I ain't got time for all that. I done been through that. Brother, you up and left your home. You up and left to be on another man's team, and you have the fucking nerve to ask some goddamn questions? Have you really?
Okay,
dude,
yeah.
We over here getting drove. We over here getting drove by motherfucking foreigners, and you want to go take the foreigners' place. Brother, not with me.
Can I make a statement?
No.
I just want to make a.
Listen, this is what I'm saying, y'all. This is we in everybody's shit. We in everybody's shit, and we can't even figure out and clean up our own. This is why we lose. This is why we lose. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, this I wanted to add on to what he was saying about doing something about it. Everybody, everybody is waking up. Everybody is starting to realize that everything that's going on is completely made and built to keep us enslaved.
Well, some people is waking up to that point.
Yeah,
we still got a lot of people that just stuck on stupid, but continue.
And I think that it's time for everybody to unify. I mean, it's time for us to start literally having each other's back. It's not even that hard. So many different kind of people, they do stuff together. For example, these Arabs here right now is unifying together, destroying things, but still they doing it together, and they still having control over their part of their land, you know. So people need to start unifying and start doing something about it. It's not even hard. We all decide to have each other's back, get on the same page, and then just take back what's ours.
So we have some people here with the brother that was just on. And no, it ain't about that. Here's a tangible solution. And this is why you don't have to ask nobody, well, what's the plan? What are we supposed to do? You should already know. Damn it. Always asking. And I think that's what a lot of these brothers are set up to do, just to keep the people stupid. Go to where you're from. Find out who your This is something simple. There's a 1,000 more solutions, but here's one. Go to where your mother, your grandma, go to where your great-grandmother's from. There's going to be some minerals. There are going to be some minerals around where she is. So if you go to Forest City, Arkansas, they have the materials that you need to make batteries with. Come up with a battery company. Do that. You can do stuff with food, with how
Mhm.
you deliver. We can do all kind of things. The reason I get so animated about it because there's so much shit to be done. Asking what should be done is the last thing we should be doing. What do you mean? All these, all these foreigners coming over here being millionaires. You go, are you guys millionaires?
Right?
Do foreigners support you guys when you set up your store over in Israel?
Nope. They don't support
Yeah, you know who support the foreigner stores over here
black people.
all day and will slap the shit
Um,
out of you if you tell them they can't do it. So those type people I don't even like to talk to because they're gone. Like the
they
solution.
don't even see logic. They not they minds not don't even see the logical solution that be right there or anything logical. They just so in their bubble. It's just like they didn't in
Right.
this fairy tale land. They don't even see things that make sense to be right there in front of them, and they don't see it.
Well,
They so blinded.
well,
It's ridiculous.
I hope you guys get deported because really we need America, not the United States. America needs her children back home. We need all the brain power we can get because what we got going now, no brain power at all. None of these
Right.
none of these foreign ideologies. I don't care if you can so you tell me you speak Hebrew. Hebrew is a language of dominance. Blah 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 blah. Then why are you being dominated?
Completely dominated. They are suckers for the states. The
Duh.
only thing they do is take and obey the states. That's all they do. They have, and they so behind with technology and everything. They behind with everything.
Yeah. Over here, the young people over here in America, they not playing. They on a
Mhm.
whole nother level. They
And
Mhm.
that's what we need. We need a whole nother level.
well, you
When is people gonna see that?
well, some are seeing it like you're seeing right here. Some are seeing it, but we're in a. I mean, it's so few of us. The people. I mean, I'm seeing the Americans. They doing some wonderful stuff, and they get very little or no support. We'll go support the Arabs before we support ourselves.
Hmm.
And that's because the Arabs is unified. Anybody that's unified get respect. They gain respect. They gain control, especially over their own land and what they stand for. Even China, Japan, all of them, they taking over other places because they so unified.
Yeah.
And we the only ones that's not doing anything and so captivated by every other place because we nobody have no self esteem or self how you call it, you know?
They don't have no sense of who they are.
Yes, and they don't have no self-confidence in themselves. And
Yeah.
they listen to everybody else telling them how they're not good enough just to keep them down, to use them, to take all the minerals and all the great things that we have in ourselves for themselves. And they just let them.
They have one of the I don't know what because really there is no government running it. It's just a mob and they're doing what they want to do because the people who land that this is, they're not even thinking about it.
Mhm.
They have he's the governor or whatever of Kentucky named Mitch McConnell. He made a deal with some Russians to sell a piece of land in Kentucky to put
Hmm.
an aluminum mining plant up there. For some reason, the deal didn't go through. I really didn't catch it. I read a little bit of it, but I had to keep moving. This is what I'm saying. You are from this land. Indigenous people are from this land. You're from a certain place. That certain place, they have certain minerals there. They have certain crops that grow there. They have certain land that is good for that. That's your land. and you just walk away from it and to try to explain some bullshit that don't make no sense.
Right.
And you
Make no
and,
sense.
and you pull your children further away from their home. That's what all these cats, all this stuff, dude, really? You can just go back. Why does this make sense? You're on the money in the 1860s. Anybody can go look this up. Check out a book by John Jones, Confederate Currency, The Color of Money. Who would take people from their homeland? Who would humiliate people, taking them from their homeland, bring them where they want them to be, then put them on the money? Who does that? We don't even think of that. Simple stuff. You have to, if I tell you something, you know it's right. You feel it when you know it's right. If you don't think it's right, you're gonna ask questions about it. And I better come with the correct answer, or you're gonna think I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even think of simple shit. I'm serious.
Right.
So with the Africans, so this is what I get from the Negroes who are stuck on that African American story. And I'm telling you, they're not stuck on the story. They're scared. They don't want to do nothing. Whatever they have in their mind of what's going to happen to them, it stops them from doing anything. They won't do anything. So I asked African Americans, well, wouldn't it make sense if the Africans who are coming over here, they take a DNA test against the African American to find who their people are? Wouldn't that make sense?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they do it? Because you're not saying nothing. They're not going to say it because they're coming over here to get your shit.
Right.
They can tell you anything because you'll believe anything, then be done. What we do now? How we do this now? Dude, come on. You come on. You can see insects. You can see insects behaving better than we do. And I don't just mean the gutter stuff. I mean the highly intellectual, all the other crap that we're doing. How do the two governments differ in their interactions with you? The Palestinian and the Israeli government.
Well, to tell you the truth, the Palestinians are way more nicer to us than the Israelis are. The Palestinians, they make their own, oils, and they make their own stuff that's completely natural. And they have invited a lot of people from the nation to do it because, Americans,
Right.
but they really hate Israelis. So we was to say it was Israeli, they would really go at us. But since, we Black Americans, and plus it's a lot of Black Palestinians also, they much nicer. I feel like they nicer to us than the Israelis is to us. The
So
Israelis think they better than us, and they think they that we just Negroes over here, and Negroes that don't eat meat, and they just completely disrespectful.
what
But they treat the Palestinians terribly. So the Palestinians, they definitely go off constantly. They unify and they attack to try to make their points. I really don't judge them actually, because as as Palestinians, they defending their land. So I'm not really judging that. It's like huh?
do you think that's something that we could do, that mindset that we should begin to take here in America? I know you're over there.
Yes, I think that's how we should. I mean, they not thinking long term when it comes down to their actions and what they doing, instead of attacking certain places or trying to tear down certain places to gain back information about who they are and stuff like that to release all their documents. That's what we should do over there.
Right.
They unify. We should unify, and we should go and demand all our papers and demand everything that they have taken from us, so we can be able to just release it, because they hiding so much of our information. And if we don't know who we are and what we can be doing, we gonna just be in the dark.
Right.
I think that we should unify and go and take it back force.
I totally agree with you. Let me ask you this. You know, a lot of times over here in America, we hear about something called the Gaza Strip. And many of us, including myself, don't really realize what that whole thing means. Could you explain that?
Could you repeat that question, because you had broke up when you
Okay.
in the middle of talk. Uh-huh.
A lot of times over here, we hear about the Gaza Strip. What is the Gaza Strip? And I mean, because we hear about it, but we really don't see it because we don't see it every day, or we're not close to it or know how it works. Now, I know it's a Palestinian, where the Palestinians live. They have them squeezed into a little place. But could you give us an explanation on what the Gaza Strip is?
The Gaza Strip. Actually, I don't really know much about the Gaza Strip.
Um,
That's
yeah,
that's in Israel, right?
yeah, it's over here in Israel. The Gaza Strip. Well, first of all, there's a location. It's off of Israel. You know, I'm not real good with the history of that, but all I know is that's land that's owned by the Palestinians. And you know,
The Israelis is trying to take over that place. That's what you thought.
yeah,
Yes, they trying to take their land over there. So it's like it's war going on, where they send a lot of the Israelis out there into their country, into their area, and they fight them and they try to take over. And it's have been going on for a long time now, because over there, they still haven't given up. It have been a lot of killings and everything, and but they still trying to take it. They still trying to take it, the Israelis, but it's they not giving up. They not giving up.
yeah. These Israelis over here, they greedy. They want it all, and they these Palestinians, you know, they've been over here for thousands and thousands of years. They trying to conquest that piece of land. It's a piece of land over here in Israel. And they, you know, since Israel been over here, they trying to say that that's their land, that's Israel land, that's Jews land. And you know, just like in that Bible, they feel like they God is telling them that they got to conquest, take their land back. You know, that's the whole that's what I feel their whole ideology is. These Jews, you know, they want control over every piece of land over here. And the Gaza Strip is an area over here where the Palestinians reside, and it's a constant war.
Yeah, it's a constant war.
I've been to Israel, and for real, I mean, they fighting over that.
Oh yeah, they want it all. They want it all for the Jews.
Yeah.
They want it all for the Jews.
But what natural resources does Israel have?
They don't have it. They came across this place. I don't even know where they came from. This place was a desert when they started residing here. And yeah, I don't even know how they even got here. Like, that is a good question.
Yeah. You you know, like I think that you know, in the Bible they talk about how God gave us, had the ancient Israelites to fight for this land and kill and destroy and decimate these people off this land. They feel like they those people in the Bible, and then we got our people thinking that we the Hebrews is because it says something about some ships taking us into another land that is not ours, kind of stuff.
Okay, hold on. I gotta ask this question. Because that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. How did the Hebrew Israelites get to America? I mean, make that make sense. Really, what's the conversation when that goes on? How do they mix in? How do these brothers over here? I know it's the Bible. I know it's mental mind washing completely. To make these cats think they're part of the Bible. How was that possible? They don't see this yet.
And not only that, they think they're the lords in those Bibles too.
The Lords.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see that's my point that a lot of people don't understand. And Zinzal will be with you in a second. I'm sorry. The Lord. People be thinking that the Lord, because I ask older people, I'm like, well, who is the Lord? And they say the Lord is Jesus. I'm like, but Jesus hasn't been introduced into the story yet. I mean, they say real dumb shit when you talk. That's how they speak. But the Lord is a man. The Lord, warlord, landlord, they're men.
Right.
And they're men who call themselves God. You know, that's what the Lord, that's what, I mean, is that what it is or not?
Yeah, that's exactly it. They calling themselves gods.
Yeah. So,
and that they supposed to rule over women and everybody else.
Yeah, that's the Hebrew Israelite doctrine of these Hebrew over here. You know, that's part of what they teach and everything. You know,
that they dominate women because they themselves are dominated. Is that how they look at it?
They see themselves as a part of Yah, which is the Lord, and they right behind that, like the next one level, and their responsibility is to rule over us, and we have to treat them like gods. And what they say goes, and what they tell us to do, we have to do it without saying. We have to look at them as lords and serve and feed them like they're royalty. That's theirs. That's their point of view of what's written in the Bible.
Baby, pimping ain't easy.
Yeah, so they thinking like, yeah, this works for us. We can tell these women anything we want, and they gonna believe it because it's written in the Bible. The Bible say, let me control you, let me take more than one wife, and y'all do as I say, and I can do as I please with you, says the Lord. That's what they saying.
Oh, so they got more than one wife over there?
Oh, they allowed to have up to 7 wives. 7.
Dang.
7 wives, and they can't even take care of themselves. They move from each wife's house. They move from each one. They just straight up pimping over there.
Hold on. Hold on. The wives all have their own homes, and they gotta just give it up to him when he come over.
It's a lot of those kind of women, because they was living all together, and the women be kept fighting and children and fighting, and just it's a whole lot. So then they have to move. They have to be separated, and then they go to each woman's house whenever they feel like it. Sometimes they see each wife once a week, and when they do come over, they only come in just to get them some and eat, and then go about their business.
So I want to welcome to the chat Zinzile. Zinzile, how are you today?
Shalom, shalom.
So you're a Hebrew Israelite living in Jerusalem too?
No, I'm living in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. You're a Hebrew
Yeah,
Israelite, but you're in Zimbabwe.
yes.
Oh, okay. So you're a Zimbabwean. You're originally from Zimbabwe.
Yes, I'm from Zimbabwe, originally from Zimbabwe.
Oh, okay. So who are your people in Zimbabwe?
Oh, they're all great.
No, who are your people in Zimbabwe? So if you ask a person from America, who are their people in America? Some people will tell you the Chitamacha. Some people will tell you the Accomax. Some people will tell you Cherokee. Some people will tell you Creek. Who are your people in Zimbabwe? Hello? Hello?
Is she still there?
I don't know. Maybe it's a disconnection or something. Because yeah, I mean, I like to, because that's interesting to me. I know they tell us all these different, countries and whatever, and they're new countries. Because I guess from the last reset, everybody's trying to get on board. But I'd be wanting to know the people, who they are. Because they come from a place. The whole world is off the hook, but these people come from places that we never even hear about. Because those people in those places, like here in America, we have all these American males over here. They're trying to be other people. They're trying to be Greeks. So we never get to hear their stories because they're telling us somebody else's story. That's how we lose. And we know how to tell somebody. Check this out. We know how to tell other people's story better than we can tell our own.
Mm-hmm. And that's sad.
So where are you guys? So we're gonna come up and we're gonna close out here in a minute. So on the deportation thing, do people really want to stay over there, or are they having second thoughts?
Well, there's a lot of people that definitely want to stay, and they are in it to the end in the community, and they refuse to leave because that's all they know, and they believe in it strong-heartedly. And there's a very few, and when I say very few, you can count on your 10 fingers, a few that,
That's aware.
and so.
They're aware of us being indigenous American Indians, and
They want to also leave.
some of them wants to leave, others it's like, don't focus on that, you know, um, what you want and what you need to do and let it just happen, but I can't never really get them to say that they need to go back to America and fight along with their brothers and sisters over there that's fighting, to get our land back and our heritage back, you know.
Okay, so if you guys get deported, I mean, this is my 2 cents. Uh, what you might want to do is where your mother's from, your grandmother or somebody in your family, you might want to write the congressman or whoever, the city council or whoever, however that's ran, and tell them your situation and that you're coming home and that you'll need a place to set up something like that. Because all these immigrants come over here and the first thing they get is the EBT card. They get their rent paid, they get all that stuff done off your tax dollars.
Right.
And the Negro is taxed big time in here. So that's just an idea. But it's like the brother was saying earlier, I would get the hell out of Israel. because
And I'm trying, but now because I am on my last weeks of pregnancy, I just hope that they would let me out if they think about taking my mom, or if they do let her stay a little longer, just let me give birth and then leave. That would be great, because I do not want to stay here, me
Yeah.
or my family. And my mom, she had 7 kids here. She had 7 kids here, and we want to all leave.
Wow.
Yeah, we all here.
Wow. Well, so
Mhm.
are there any last parting words you want to leave us with while going over there? Because I'm sure, you know, we don't think that that the indigenous people here hate none of our people. It's not like that. We love our people, but dog, we got to be doing something other than what we're doing. We can't be playing around. We can't be building for other people on our land. And see, we're going to have to deal with that. Because see, we do that and we're arrogant about it. You're building other people's empires on your land.
Exactly.
So think
And
about it.
tearing each other down and refusing to help one another.
Refusing.
That's the problem. That it's time for us to unify and not judge each other for the same thing that these other people are doing, like judging us for our color, judging us for um our hair, or just anything about who we are. And then start judging ourselves when it comes down to hair and color.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's like being brainwashed. Now people not even loving their own selves, and they can't even unify, and we just gonna be stuck being at the bottom of the food chain.
So
Being the ones that been destroyed and constantly thrown in jail and killed and used for our body and our blood and all our organs.
so guys, see, you see how they know what's going on. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
sure Israel is one of the biggest child trafficking places on the planet. So this is what I'm saying, and all these rituals and stuff they do that come out of that part of the world. This is what these. That's why those so-called Jews are hated everywhere. So I would my suggestion would be like the brother said, like America, land of the plume surface said, get the hell out. Seriously. I mean, there's a happening on the planet. You know, it's just not the people in America. It's people here in America. If you ever get to use that app they got called Clubhouse, you got people asking questions that they know that what they're being told is bullshit. And people are trying to find out now. People are trying to be that tree that springs out of the ground. That's what's happening. And if
Right.
you know, people trying to this is not living. Marvin Gaye told you years ago, this ain't living, this ain't living. We got to do something else. And I think we have the mind power, the talent, everything to make it right. So let's start making it right, y'all. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Check us out Friday night. We're going to have Lisa from the Acamax here like we always do. I want you guys have a good Wednesday. Keep your head to the sky, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Noga, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
Oh, okay.